What's going on, everybody? It's Mike from sneakerhistory.com, and I'm back with another video, and I am super excited. I've got a shoe in my hand that I really wanted to get, but I wasn't able to get my hands on. I have a good friend of the podcast and a friend of the YouTube channel, just a good buddy of mine who was able to send me over a pair so I can review it. So big shout out to my buddy Mike. Really appreciate it, because this review wouldn't happen if he wasn't nice enough to send it over to me. Now, with that being said, we're gonna jump right on into it. Here's a sneaker. Now, you guys are probably wondering why I'm showing you the box, but if you guys have seen what's been going on in sneakers, you guys know that this box is pretty big important part of the sneaker we're going to be looking at today. Now, the sneaker we'll be looking at, if you guessed it already, it's going to be the Space Hippie. Now, the Space Hippie, this is going to be one of the models. I'm not going to tell you which one yet, but the models itself were all packaged and delivered in the shoebox itself. That was Nike's way of being sustainable by not doubling up on boxes and just creating more weight. So that was pretty cool. The only stupid thing is, of course, you still have the Just Do It tape so everyone knows what you have when it's delivered to you. So I think that's silly. Nike, stop doing that, please. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cover up my buddy's address here. I don't want you guys mailing him or anything. But the box itself is really cool because you have all the Space Hippie information in the box. So the box, of course, is going to be made out of recycled materials, and then the ink that is used to print all the information is made from a plant-based ink. So I hope you guys can see it here. So it's really cool. So let me get the shoes out. You guys may have already seen them, but we're not going to show them just yet. I just want to show you the inside of the box as well. You guys can see that. So yeah, I say you have all information, but a cool QR code you can hit. I think it sends you over to the Nike website to give you more information about the shoe, which is pretty cool. Now we'll go ahead and throw that down over here. And the model we're going to be looking at is going to be the Space Hippie 04. Now the Space Hippie 04, this one, I want to say it utilizes the fly ease technology to a degree, because you guys noticed that how the back is just kind of inside. I'm not sure if that's just because of the way it's packaged, but I know when you read the initial information about the shoe, they have a laced sneaker, which was the 01 and 04s, of course. You have the laceless, which is the 02, the crazy mechanisms on the 03, and then the 04. I want to say it utilizes the fly ease because it's the way it's built. Now, I could be wrong, so please feel free to correct me in the comments. But what I'll do, I'll go ahead and put a picture of the entire collection here. That way you guys can see what each of those sneakers look like. Now, what's really cool about this sneaker is that the 04 actually released in two colorways to start with. It released in that kind of grayish, bone beige with the crimson swoosh, and then it released in the gray and Volt. Now, the crazy thing about the gray and Volt is that actually they released a second collection of Space Hippies in the same color a couple weeks after the initial release. So this one, they released both colors of the 04s pretty much immediately. Now, getting into the shoe itself, the upper is going to be made of a fly knit yarn that is 85 to 90% recycled materials, things like plastic bottles, old t-shirts and materials, things like that. So it's pretty cool that they've gone ahead and did their best to make a more sustainable and eco-friendly sneaker. Now, I will say, even though I do, it's cool that Nike does that, they're not the first brand to do that, and I've also found they're not the first brand to do the shipping box as a shoe box. So I know you guys may be familiar with another brand called Allbirds, and I was doing a little research. It looks like they do something similar, but of course that sneaker, no knock to them. I mean, there's always a market for everybody. It may not be a sneaker for me, but I just know that, hey, it's been done before, I guess, in a smaller market. So Nike has taken, the idea and run with it with the bigger market. So, kudos to them for trying to be better. I just like to, point out that other brands have done it as well. Now, back to the sneaker itself. So we're also going to have, with this upper, this fly knit yarn upper, we have our Volt swoosh. My favorite part, I think, is the mini swoosh. I wish it was on the other side, on the lateral side, but I'll give you guys a better visual there. We have our mini swoosh here in Volt as well. We have our pretty much just normal laces. Looks like laces you would find on like a fly knit trainer or a fly knit racer, so nothing special. But what I did notice is that you see the loops here, the eyelets are just, looks like basic string. So it almost reminds me of how they would use fly wire, have that exposed fly wire where the laces would go through. But on the lateral side here, you can see that there's different ways. Let's go ahead and get a better view of that. You have different ways to lace your shoe if you want it. You can put them through different loops and just kind of customize your lacing system, which I think is pretty awesome. I'm not sure how much of a difference it'll make because this is not a performance shoe by any means. There's no, you see that? There's no support for any real lateral motion, so I don't see anybody doing anything pretty crazy with these, and they're not really flexible enough to be a runner. So I don't know exactly what they would do. Maybe it just makes it more comfortable for each person. Maybe more of a slim footer could go ahead and tighten them up more, while a wide footer can go ahead and get the laces a little closer together, give them more breathing room. Now, as we go around to the top of the shoe where the tongue is, we have our 04 branding to let you know this is the 04 model. And of course, there's no tongue to it. It is a sock sneaker, so it just kind of folds over. You see there's just a fold, but everything's kind of wrapped up like a burrito here, so you can see how everything just kind of goes together. Now, the tongue area itself is going to be more of an open knit, so you get a little bit more breathability and more stretch, while the outside is going to be a tighter knit to give you more structure and more stability. Now we're making our way to the back of the shoe, and again, like I said before, we have this kind of ruffled up collar that goes down, so that's why I think this is going to be the one with a variation of fly ease. That way the person can go ahead and just kind of put their foot in. Now I'm not going to do an on foot of these because of course these aren't mine, so I wouldn't want to be shoving my foot in someone else's shoe. I mean, that's not cool, and it's not my size. This is a size 11 while I wear size 10, so it wouldn't even make sense. Now we have our black pull strap, which looks to be a nylon material with Nike on the back and that Space Hippie font. And that pretty much takes care of the upper. I mean, there's nothing special about the insole. I mean, it looks, I don't know. Looks like it could also be made up of recycled materials as well, looking at the, you see, look at that? I don't want to pull all the way out. You see like the speckles and stuff, look like it could be made of some sort of recycled material as well. Along with, just have a Nike sports wheel, that pinwheel with the swooshes. So nothing special going on in there. Pretty standard. And we're making our way down to the outsole midsole. Now, this is Nike's crater foam technology that we've started to see on the Space Hippies, and we'll start seeing on other models, such as there's a Converse Space Hippie model coming out, a couple of Jordan brand as well, where they're going to be utilizing the same foam. And what it is, this is made from, if I'm not mistaken, 12% recycled materials, and the rest is a more sustainable foam that I don't think has been named yet. So it's really cool. It looks to be fairly sturdy, but still has some softness to it. So it looks to be comfortable to walk around for a while. Again, I couldn't tell you yes or no because these aren't mine, so I'm not going to be walking around in them. But one of the cool features I like are the two pods right here on the toe and on the heel. It looks to be a translucent rubber, that way you can really see what's going on in the crater foam, like everything that is put into it, so you see more of the combination and just the building of all those pieces together. So those are my two favorite parts. The traction just looks to be a variation of a waffle traction, looks like. Nothing too special. I mean, I don't see you slipping and falling on anything. Here, you guys can get a good look at that. I don't see you falling. It seems to be, pretty chunky, but at the same time, still pretty smooth. So again, I think that you're good for just walking around just for a casual basis. I wouldn't say go hiking or go, doing any kind of cross-training in them. But again, if you're just going to the store, I guess that's pretty much all you can do right now. Just go to the grocery store. But whatever it is, if you're just casually out, I think this is a great shoe to have. Hopefully I can get a pair my size soon. That way I can give you guys a follow-up. That way I can tell you if they're actually nice on foot. Now, with that being said, guys, were you excited for the Space Hippie Collection? Did you get lucky and catch a W on Nike sneaker app? Because I definitely didn't. Let me know down below your thoughts about the Space Hippies. I mean, I think they're pretty cool. I like to see, some more models they're going to start utilizing with this technology, and just, see if they keep pushing these, see if they're going to be pretty easy to get in the future, because I think there's another set of colorways coming soon. You guys let me know, and please reach out to me on Instagram and Twitter at MadWatcher789. And of course, follow us on sneakerhistory.com and listen to the Sneaker History podcast that releases every Monday and every Thursday. Now, until next time, guys, see ya.